A lot of money mistakes do not feel like mistakes when people make them. They feel normal, convenient, safe, or affordable. But some of the most common moves people make are exactly what keep them paying more, keeping less, and falling behind later. In this video, you'll see 10 normal money moves people do all the time in the US that look harmless at first, but quietly make life more expensive and harder to build from later. This is RINH Wealth, where we break down the hidden money rules behind everyday life. Move 1. Looking at the monthly payment instead of the total cost. This is one of the biggest traps in normal life. You see $99 a month and your brain says, that's manageable. What it does not feel is the full total sitting underneath it. That is why this move is so dangerous. It makes expensive things feel affordable by shrinking the decision down to the one number that hurts least right now. A low monthly payment can still mean a bad deal. A small payment can still lock you into a big cost. And once you start judging decisions that way, you stop asking, what am I really paying? And start asking, can I survive this payment? That is a weaker question. Move 2. Waiting to save whatever is left at the end of the month. This feels normal because most people think saving is what happens after life is handled. Bills first, groceries first, gas first, random stuff first. Then maybe saving if anything survives the month. Usually it doesn't. That is how people spend years believing they are trying to save while never really building anything. Not because they are reckless, because they are letting the month make the decision for them. Move 3. Letting subscriptions renew without checking them. This one barely feels like spending at all. That is the whole point. $10, $15, maybe $20. A streaming service, an app, extra storage, a premium plan, something you meant to cancel 3 months ago. None of them look serious alone. Together, they become a monthly leak with a smile on its face. Auto-renew is one of the cleanest examples of a normal move that keeps people behind because it keeps charging without asking for fresh attention. Here is the pattern connecting all of this. People think normal money behavior is safe money behavior, but a lot of everyday systems reward something else. They reward people who check the full cost, who compare before buying, who protect margin, who delay weak purchases, who notice recurring drag early. Normal-looking weak moves usually do the opposite. They trade future position for present ease. That is the hidden rule. Do not judge a money move by how normal it feels now. Judge it by the position it creates later. Move 4. Using delivery when pickup would do. This feels small because the order itself already costs money, so the extra fees slide in quietly. Delivery fee, service fee, small order fee, tip, marked up menu prices. Now your quick meal is no longer just food. It is a tax on convenience. Once in a while, fine. But when convenience becomes the default, this stops being a treat and starts becoming a pattern. That is when normal life gets expensive without looking dramatic. Not because one meal ruined you, because repeated convenience turns into repeated overpaying. Move 5. Financing purchases you could delay. A lot of people are not financing true emergencies. They are financing impatience. A couch they want now. A phone they could have kept longer. A home upgrade that feels reasonable because the payment looks small. A shopping cart split into 4 easy chunks that makes the whole decision feel lighter than it really is. This is where affordable and good split apart. Sometimes financing makes sense, but a lot of the time it is just a way to drag today's wants into tomorrow's budget. And once tomorrow already owes money to yesterday, you get tighter, harder to save, harder to switch, harder to breathe. It is the whole habit of paying more to remove small friction without checking whether the friction actually matters. Faster shipping, premium seat, priority add-on, express version. The easier option, the no-wait option, the skip-the-line version of normal life. Again, none of this sounds crazy. That is why it works so well. A lot of people do not realize they are building a lifestyle where they constantly pay to avoid minor inconvenience. And over time, that creates a quiet money pattern. You keep choosing comfort now, and your budget keeps getting weaker later. Move 7. Buying things that do not improve your future. This does not mean every purchase has to be productive. That is not real life. But a lot of spending is pure disappearance. It gives a quick hit, then leaves nothing behind. No skill, no tool, no stronger setup, no lasting use. The problem is not fun. The problem is direction. If most of your extra money keeps going toward things that vanish fast, then your life stays expensive without getting stronger. Meanwhile, someone else is using some of that same money to reduce future friction, improve earning power, or build more room. That is where the gap starts. Same effort, different direction, different result. Move 8. Ignoring fees because each one looks small. This is one of the oldest tricks in money. The base price gets your attention. The extra charges arrive later. Convenience fee, processing fee, platform fee, restocking fee, late fee, annual fee, activation fee. One by one, they look too small to fight. That is exactly why they work. People usually do not get crushed by one giant obvious fee. They get worn down by lots of normal-looking charges that feel annoying but not worth reacting to, until they add up. And once you stop respecting small fees, you train yourself to accept expensive life one little cut at a time. Move 9. Obsessing over tiny savings while missing the bigger leaks. This one is sneaky because it feels responsible. Someone spends all this energy trying to save $2 here, $3 there, clipping every tiny edge, feeling guilty over every small purchase. But they ignore the things that actually shape the month. The car payment, the housing cost, the subscriptions, the financing terms, the recurring convenience spending, the insurance they never rechecked, the large fixed costs quietly eating the whole budget. That is how people can feel financially serious while still staying behind. They are working hard on the wrong scale. Move 10. Keeping bills and memberships for things you barely use. This is the final form of normal money drift. The gym you stopped going to, the premium account you do not need, the service plan you forgot about, the software you signed up for during one busy month and never canceled, the extra line, the extra pass, the extra protection plan. What makes this move dangerous is not just the money, it is the dead weight. These charges keep sitting in your life like old furniture in a small room. Each one takes a little space. And eventually, you are carrying a monthly life that is heavier than it needs to be. That is what behind often looks like. Not chaos, not disaster, just too much normal drag. So what do you do with this? Use a better lens. When something looks normal, ask, what is the full cost? Not just the easy number. Is this solving a real problem or just removing small discomfort? If this repeats every month, where does it put me a year from now? Those 3 questions alone will help you catch a lot of weak moves early. And here's the practical takeaway. Before you optimize tiny spending, fix the recurring leaks and the weak commitments first, because that is where normal life quietly gets expensive. Old belief. If a money move feels normal, affordable, and common, it is probably fine. New belief. A lot of normal moves are exactly what keep people behind, because the real cost shows up later, not at the moment you say yes. The move is never just the move. It is the future position hiding inside it. If you've seen one of these in your own life, let me know in the comments. If this helped you see the pattern more clearly, subscribe for more.